everyone, and welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Hannah Grace Fletcher. I'm an aspiring author currently working on my very first novel project, Project AOS. Project AOS is a YA religious fantasy / science fiction novel. I know, it's a mouthful. And today we are about to be getting into trying out Margaret Peterson Haddix's morning writing routine. Margaret Peterson Haddix is an American author best known for the Missing series and the Shadow Children series. She has written 50 books for her young adult middle grade audience, including incredible standalones like Double Identity and Turnabout. Her first book, Running Out of Time, was published on October 1st, 1995. Her most recent book, The Stolen Key, was published in 2024 and is the third book in her Mysteries of Trash and Treasure series. Now, although you may not remember her name right off the bat, I am sure that you have read one of her books, whether it be at your local library or your school library. She's one of my favorite authors of all time. She was one of those authors that really got me into reading when I was in middle school, apart from Harry Potter, because I reread that way too many times. Whenever I went to my local library, I was constantly going to look for her name, seeing if there were any new books for me to read by her. According to an interview with Teaching Books, Margaret mostly writes in the mornings. She states, "I'm a morning person. When my husband leaves for work, I sit down at the computer and start writing. On an ideal day, I'll get in about 4 hours before lunch, and then I'll take a break to take care of emails or errands, and then I'll come back and write some more. Of course, there are some days when writing won't be going well, and I'll find myself looking for distractions. Or there are days when I'll be so in the zone that I look at my watch and be stunned to discover it's 3 o'clock, and I've missed lunch and I'm starving." This was all I could really find about Margaret Peterson Haddix's writing routine, and it was pretty consistent across all the other platforms that she was interviewed about it. So for the purpose of this challenge, I decided that I would stick to working on my writing from 9 a.m. in the morning to 12 p.m. in the afternoon. My husband just left work 30 minutes ago, so it stays pretty consistent to what Margaret would be doing on her day-to-day routine. Overall, I'm just so unbelievably excited for this video. I have loved Margaret Peterson Haddix's work for years, and I'm so excited to try out this writing routine. Now, as for a quick update on my editing process, in the last Writing Novelties video, if you haven't heard of the Writing Novelties, it's a series of video diaries documenting my writing journey. In the last video, I was struggling with editing so badly. Legitimately, for the past 3 weeks, I was stuck on page 1 of my novel. And that page is split in half because of the chapter headings. Yesterday night, I am pleased to let you guys know that I'm finally on page 2 and that I think that I have finally figured out a process that works for me. I am no longer rewriting the novel from scratch. While I think that that is a great way to do things and I thought it would work for my brain, I just can't wrap my head around it, and I need to see the original work so I can make something new based off of it. But regardless, it is currently 8:55 a.m., so we need to get into this routine and sit down at my desk to get started. Hello everyone, it is now 8:51 and it is actually Friday because yesterday I didn't actually get to write in the morning. Me and my husband had to run some errands, so I wrote in the afternoon, and I was going to film it, but then I was like, well, it's not a morning writing routine, so it's not really tied with the challenge. But anyway, we're getting back to Margaret Peterson Haddix's writing routine today, and we are going to be working from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock again. Yesterday, I got to write the next chapters, chapter 2, the new chapter 2, from a different perspective, which was really fun. It was actually making, I already feel very sympathetic for this side character, but after like writing through their point of view and getting to spend time in their headspace, I feel even more deeply for them, and I just want to give all of my characters a hug. Like, I literally love every single one of them. My heart aches for for everything that they're going through. I didn't finish the first chapter yet. I think I got about 600 words into it, but just so I can give you guys the current amount of words on the manuscript, we started with about like 70,800, but I just rounded to 70,000. And we are currently at 71,833 words. So we've gained about, well, let me look at something. Yeah, the original word count was 70,833. So we've gained exactly 1,000 words in the manuscript, which is really cool. I don't know if I've talked about this on the vlog yet because I did film yesterday, but like I said, I don't think it works to include, at least when I was talking. So I realized that in order to reach my goal of about like 100,000, which is what I think this manuscript is going to get up to in the second draft, I just need to write 3,000 words a week pretty much. So that's not even that bad. Like that's completely doable. Obviously that means that I have to get through like a lot of editing, but by the end of the week I need to have added 3,000 words. And that's not to like say, oh, you need to add a lot. I think editing just naturally tends to add more words onto my manuscript, because even though my document is 70,000 words, a lot happens in this first novel in the series, which means that even when I was reading through the book that I have here, it was shocking to just see how much room there was for more that I could add. As in like how I could elongate the pacing more, because like I said, so much happens. So I've been really trying to add more to Act 1. And then, yeah, there's gonna be a bunch that I actually do think I'll end up rewriting from scratch throughout the novel, because there are setting changes that I want to make, and just the way the plot and the action is traced that I want to change. But anyway, like I said, it was so amazing. I love every single one of my characters. To give you guys kind of a little insight into the novel is that it really focuses on a trio friendship, and originally it was from one of the characters' perspectives, and I think that that will always be my main character for this book. Like the majority of the novel will be from that character's perspective, because this is the book in the series where they are going to be changing the most. So I really wanted to have this book by their perspective. But I also want to include like little snippets of the other two people in the trio, their perspectives, and it's been really cool. It's been so much fun. And honestly, I think that my writing is getting better. I have a better understanding of pacing and how long descriptions should be, and how to integrate dialogue into those descriptions, and then how to switch scenes better. I think that I'm really developing this sense of what the formatting of a chapter should look like. The strange thing though is that now that I'm writing this, I look back on my chapter 1 and I can see all the issues with it even more so. Like there are so many things that I love about it, but it does a lot of telling. And I as a person do not think that telling is a bad thing. If done in the right way, telling can be very profound and very impactful for the reader, especially if it reflects what your character is going through in the moment and them dissociating themselves from what's going on. I think it can be used as a tool. But at the same time, there's not really like a main scene in this chapter. It's more so like just telling the lead up to the inciting incident that gets this main character to make their choice and to go on this journey. So I've told myself that I can't go back to chapter 1 just because I'm fixating on it way too much, because it's the first thing that the reader is going to get from this novel. I want it to be able to reel them in and to get them invested. But I can't go back. I have to remind myself I will have beta readers for this draft. So I will have people that I can ask all these questions to. I can say, hey, how does the first chapter feel to you? Like, do you feel connected to the main character? Does the pacing feel off? Anything like that. So I can ask people these questions. But for now, I have to move on. But anyway, it is 8:57, so I need to get started. I'm going to do, like I did the day before, 45-minute writing sprints, and then 10-minute breaks. I think that would be a good split up for me. And I just wanted to give you guys some little insight of what I listen to. When I'm writing the main characters chapters, I will listen to like Noah Kahan or MGMT. I will also listen to MGMT because those songs are really good for it. And then I will also listen to a bunch of like Creed and Divorced Dad Rock. If you know what I mean, if you know what I mean, you know. Like a bunch of rock, like very moody, like you know what I mean, yeah. And then for the side character that I'm currently working on right now, I listen to a lot of Cave Town for them, which is very interesting, but there's one specific song by Cave Town that I listen to a lot for them, which like, and I find that Cave Town music aligns with their character uncannily well. Like, so I listen to Cave Town, a bunch of Divorced Dad Rock, a bunch of like heavy, like moody, like, I'm saying like so much and it's annoying me, I promise you. But those are kind of the vibes I go with. For the third character, there is one specific song that I listen to over and over with, and I think it's too connected to her for me to say it for you guys, but I want to find more music or just specific artists that I can listen to for her, because that was one of my goals this year, was to kind of make a playlist. And while I haven't done that yet for the book, I have like certain artists or certain songs that align with certain characters, which is really cool. But anyway, it is currently 9 o'clock, so we are going to get into our first writing sprint of the day, and I will see you guys in the next clip. Bye. So I took a bit of a longer break than expected. It is 10:14. If I can get to focus, there we go. And yeah, so I took like, I don't know, like a 25-minute break actually. So bad on my part, but doing 45-minute long focuses actually leaves my brain wanting like a longer break after, so I think it's okay. But anyway, what I did see is that CodyTheWriter is going to be doing a pop-up writing sprint at 11 o'clock, and that's in about 45 minutes. So I think I'm going to do a 30-minute sprint and then a 10-minute, well, let me think. I could just do, I'll do a 40-minute focus on Flora of just writing, and then I'll go ahead and log onto Cody's stream, and then as he's talking, that'll be like my break, and then when he starts his writing sprints, I'll also be following along with that. So that'll be fun. I haven't actually joined onto a writing sprint chat in a long time, and some of the big Authortube creators out there have been actually having a lot recently, so kind of missed opportunities on my part. But since I'm already doing writing sprints anyway, even though mine are like pretty long because I like to focus for like an extended period of time to get in the flow, but like I also love like being in the chat and talking to other writers. It makes the process feel like a lot less isolated. And don't get me wrong, I'm a very introverted person. Like, I love just sitting down at my computer and just writing and just being in my head and being completely absorbed by fictional worlds, but also having other people doing the same thing and writing along with you is really fun and really cool. And I also just miss like hearing like other creators talk. So I think I'm gonna join on that stream with Cody and get to see everyone on the stream there, and I'll incorporate that into my day, and I will just do that for as long as he continues on the sprints. And then when that is done, I will consider my writing for the day kind of wrapped up. If I want to do more, I can do more. But like with Margaret Peterson Haddix's routine, she takes a break, does emails. I think I need to apply to some internships, figure out some other things just logistically on my part. And if I want to do more writing, that's cool. I kind of want to start reading another book because I am currently 2 out of 50 books in my Goodreads goal for this year. And it's about time that I start another one, so I might start reading. I need to read my Bible for the day because I believe that I've missed the past 2 days, which is not good. And I also started late, so I want to read the Bible and spend time with God in prayer. And then I also want to do my writing poetry prompts because I did some this week, but I didn't do them for the full week. So I kind of want to get back into that. I needed a little break, but I kind of would like to just sit down and write some poetry. So I think after Cody's writing sprints and everything, I will just finish this up for the day. Because I missed yesterday and I planned on trying Margaret Peterson Haddix's routine out for 3 days, I will also be filming tomorrow, and tomorrow will be the last day. But anyway, I am going to get into this final individual sprint, and then I will get on Cody's stream. Hi everyone, it is so nice to see you. It is now 3:30. I got off the sprints on Cody's channel about 2 hours ago, so I took a well-needed break, but I really want to finish the chapter that I'm on today. I think I've just finally found my rhythm and finally found a structure that works best for me, which is absolutely amazing. I really loved adding more, I really loved adding more depth to this character. Honestly, writing from different perspectives helps you notice things that you wouldn't normally notice, like logistic wise, to where you're like, oh, that doesn't make complete sense in, like, if a certain motivation of another character affects your main character, and that kind of motivation and the planning of that action is kind of developed in a different scene. I know it's very vague, but it can be very helpful to better understand that character's motivations behind doing something, and also how they go about doing something, if you have something written from their perspective. So I think, like, even if you want your story to be from a singular POV, which honestly is something that I used to prefer in reading, obviously with writing I've become more understanding of the important things that multi-POV can do for a story, and that in some stories it really does warrant its existence and its help in developing the story. But anyway, what I was saying was, if you have a character whose motivations affect the main character, and it can be any character, from like the direct side character, supporting character, to like the smallest other character, and you're really having trouble understanding their motivations, especially if they affect the main character a lot and what happens in the story, I think that it's a helpful exercise to just sit down and write it from their perspective, because it gives you another logistical viewpoint and a better understanding into their motivations and how they like go about doing what they're doing. I think I think it's so cool. I actually love it. It's so cool. But anyway, I am like within 500 words of like tying up this chapter. Like I said before, through this chapter, I've been able to understand this character's motivations a little bit better, and I've been able to give them more stakes into the story and into the catalyst and the decision that's about to be made, because this is a decision that doesn't just affect the main character, it's also a decision that this side character makes. Well, honestly, they're both main characters. Even though we have like a main character for this book, all of these characters are main characters in the series. And then I think tomorrow I will try to finish chapter 3 completely, because I already have it all written down. I just need to go through and edit it, and I've told myself, you can't be picky, you just gotta move on. I'm not a line editor right now. I'm a developmental editor, so I need to take that developmental mindset, and if I don't need to edit it, I don't need to edit it. I just need to keep moving forward. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about Margaret Peterson Haddix for a second, because that's what this whole vlog is about. I legitimately love her so much. Like, there's obviously really big, popular, excellent, very smart writers out there that a lot of people look up to, but I've never really had like one specific one where I was like, this person is literally like my dream. Like, I want to write in stories that inspire people like this person did, and that is how I feel about Margaret. She is just so smart with her literature and how she confronts controversy and difficult topics in young adult and middle grade books. Like, these are books intended for a younger audience, and yet she's able to tackle very interesting topics and thought and just ideas, and making you as a kid like think. And her writing's absolutely excellent. Like, I get so invested in the characters and the story. I really want to reread her series. I loved the Missing series so much. I loved the Shadow Children. I loved so many of her standalones. She's just so amazing. I just admire her tenacity and just her penmanship so much. She is just so talented and hardworking. The fact that if she is on a deadline, she will not just be working in the morning. She will be working morning and then afternoon with like a break in between, obviously, but that is an all day. This is her 9 to 5. She is giving her all into this, and that can be like very creatively difficult, because if you're working a 9 to 5 job, at least in some cases, usually that 9 to 5 job as a writer is the time where you take a break, and you unconsciously you're leaving more time for you to like refill your creative well, because you don't have to input so much of yourself into what you're working on. Obviously it depends what kind of job you have, but usually you can kind of turn your brain off a little bit in the creative front, kind of. Like I said, depends on your job. And then when you go to write, you can kind of release all of that and put it into words. But being a full-time writer, that takes a lot of creative capacity, and to have produced, written, and published, and I'm assuming she's written more works than this, at least before she became a published author that never got published, to have to put that much work and that much time and that much energy into something, and to do it so quickly, is absolutely insane. But like, that is an idea of like how much I admire her. Truly, the way that she is able to inspire young readers and teach young readers all around the world. She is absolutely incredible, and I love her. And yeah, she's just so amazing. If you haven't read any of her books, even if you're an adult, I would highly recommend. Highly recommend. She has written so many different styles of books, in science fiction, fantasy, kind of retellings as well. She has written so many different things. She focuses in like science fiction, fantasy, but she's written a lot of different things. I believe that even as an adult, you will be able to find at least one book written by her, if not more, that you would enjoy. Like, she has something for everybody. but I absolutely love her. I think that I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the vlog for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. But thank you so much for listening to my rants. If you haven't read one of Margaret's books, that is the lesson of this video, is to read one of Margaret's books. But yeah, I will finish up this chapter and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hello everyone, I know that it's a bit later in the day and I'm so sorry about that. I just legitimately wanted to sleep and I didn't really get up till like right before 9, and I just wanted to like actually wake up for the morning, so I am really sorry about that. This whole vlog, me actually waking up on time, has gone completely out the window. So glad that when I gave you guys the choice for what this video was going to be this month, one person had selected 6 a.m. writing at 6 a.m. and I put it on there because I would be willing to do it, and you know, I thought it would be a fun challenge. And I would have preferred it to be reading, honestly, because that way it's not as much brain power. But anyway, I know that I literally told you guys I was going to finish this chapter. I did not, which I can give myself a little breathing room because I wrote from like 9 o'clock to 1. And I know some people do a lot more than that, but considering that I stopped writing and was just doing research for like 3 months, it's gonna take a bit of time for me to get back into the flow. And even once I do, I start university like 2 weeks from now. So I want to take advantage of this time, but at the same time, once it gets to that point, I'm not even gonna have this much time to write anyway. So this is definitely gonna be more time than I usually have on a day-to-day basis. But anyway, I'm getting way off track. Today I am going to try to finish this chapter. It probably will not take that long, and I will probably, in this video after that, give you guys a review of this routine. And then I will probably, maybe, I know I literally said this yesterday, I might write for the rest of the day, but what I need to get done is chapter 2. If I do more, it is a bonus, but I do not have to. I do not want to place constraints on something that I love. Deadlines, yes, but not constraints. Okay, we are currently at 73,447 words. I am going to put my headphones on, get some music on. I'll have you know that I'm resisting the urge because Sara Lubratt and Taylor just posted videos, and I was like, it's already almost like 10:30. If you watch both of these videos, it'll be 11, and at that point, like, you are not doing this challenge justice. So I'll do have you know that while I did wake up late, I have been able to resist the YouTube videos that are on my subscription feed right now. But anyway, I have been yapping way too much about literally nothing at all, and we are going to get to the next clip, and I will give you guys my review, and then we'll be done with the video. Hello everyone, it is now 11:33 and I finished chapter 2, which is really cool. But this week I managed to write 2,947 words added to the manuscript. That's while going through editing, taking stuff away, rewriting stuff, which is really cool. And I did rewrite a whole new chapter, which it was so fun, and it adds depth to this character that previously wasn't there. And the manuscript is currently at 73,780 words. We started at 70,833, so that's really cool. The goal is still the same at about 100,000, but I finished the 2 chapters which I wanted to finish this week. Next week I'll be doing chapters 3, 4, and 5, which will be very cool. I need to read through all of those chapters in the manuscript that I already have and annotate them and just think over it in my brain. And then I also need to edit this YouTube video so I can get it posted tomorrow. So I think that is all the writing that I'm going to do today in this video. But I just wanted to give you guys a review of the routine for Margaret Peterson Haddix. Obviously, it wasn't one of the more complex ones out there due to the information I could find. It was simply a once my husband leaves for work, I am writing all morning, and then I will take a break to do emails. And if I have to, and if I'm on a tight deadline, I will also work into the afternoon. And it was very simple, but at the same time, I have never really been a morning writer. Like I was talking about earlier, I am not good at like waking up. I wish I was a morning person, because I think that is just, it is so, I don't want to say inspirational, but the idea of getting up and being productive so early in the morning is like, I myself thrive off of being productive. That's something that sounds like something that I would enjoy, but I am not a morning person at all. I cannot wake up for the life of me, except for the random days where I manage to wake up really early and I'm not tired at all, which are far and few in between. But anyway, because her morning routine is a morning writing routine, it was something that I haven't done. I did write in the mornings when I was drafting this project, actually a good amount of the time, but I got a lot of my pushes and a lot of my energy once that kind of like 6 o'clock and afterwards period hit. So throughout this challenge, I wasn't really writing later in the day, except for the day that I had to skip. So it was really cool. I did notice that it was a lot easier for me to get into the writing and get excited about writing when I wasn't consuming any prior media. Like if I woke up, got ready for the day, like didn't get on my phone except for just like checking the time and general things, and just wrote, it was almost as if I hadn't already like consumed anything. So when I got into writing, I had so much space in my brain and I hadn't like dissociated yet, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does, but that part of it I really enjoyed, and I think I really want to try again, just like waking up and not spending any time on my phone and still giving myself time to wake up, but like not overloading my brain with information in the way that a lot of people receive it these days, which is very passively, but to have that actively input information and then get into writing, because my brain has not been on pause. I don't know if that makes sense, but I really enjoyed this writing routine, and I think I actually learned a lot about the writing process this week through like writing a new chapter, like completely from scratch after not writing for months, and just editing. And with the amount that I have been reading recently to try to hit my 50 books in a year Goodreads goal, update, I'm currently on my 3rd book, and it's January 11th, which is really cool. But I've kind of developed an understanding of pacing and how a chapter should be formatted. It's so cool. I want to make a video about it, maybe like a craft video later on, because it's hard to explain it, but at least these first 2 chapters, they like flow from like description to interactions, like dialogues, immerse, and little mini scenes. I think most of them have like a couple mini scenes and then like a big scene at the end. So it's like kind of this lead up, and then the like start of the chapter is the aftermath, which I couldn't really do here because it switches perspectives from the next chapter, so you don't really have an aftermath and these characters haven't interacted yet. But it's that idea of like having these mini scenes, like mini threads of dialogue and moments that are threaded in through the description, and then having like a main big scene. And I don't think the order matters too much. I think the main point is having major, longer, more extended scenes that you focus on more, scattered in between these mini scenes, and then those mini scenes scattered in between just telling the reader what's happening and like descriptions. So I think all in all, it was a very productive week. I love trying out Margaret Peterson Haddix's writing routine. I know I talked earlier about how much I love and admire her, and this was truly an amazing experience. And I can't wait to film more of these in the future. If you have a favorite author routine that you'd like me to try out, I would 100% be open to trying it. I love trying these different routines and kind of putting myself out of my comfort zone, and out of that comes lessons that are learned and deeper understanding of how to write and how to write well. So yeah, if you made it to the end of this video, leave if there's like a watch or a clock emoji, do that for the Missing series. And if you've read Margaret Peterson Haddix books and want to chat about them in the comments, I would love to. If you would like to see a reading vlog of me reading her books, I would also love to. And if you have any questions or like you want recommendations based off of like what kind of books you like on what to read by her, I would also love to do that. Because I have read a good amount of her books. Although it's been a while, I've read as many as I could possibly get my hands on as a teenager. So I thoroughly enjoyed this video. I'm so glad that you guys picked this for the additional video this month, and I can't wait for the next one. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and good luck writing. This is your reminder that you can write that book. Bye.